we are witnessing a massive shift. AI Pulse. See the signal.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into what is arguably the most explosive event in recent tech history, OpenAI's Project Astra. We're going to unpack exactly how this system managed to solve a 27-year-old math problem. But, we're not just stopping at the science, we're also cracking open the raw channel analytics to see exactly why this specific breakthrough is the ultimate blueprint for a viral breaking news story. Let's get right into it.
So we have to start right at the top with a reaction that immediately sets the stakes for what we're looking at today. Elon Musk responded to this development with a massive, bold statement. He literally said, "We have already reached the singularity." Now, when a figure with that much reach uses a highly debated, controversial term like singularity, well, we're dealing with something that has fundamentally shifted the landscape and just absolutely captured global attention.
But the actual catalyst for that massive reaction, the real reason this story is catching fire absolutely everywhere, comes down to one staggering number: $2,000. That's it. That is the astonishingly low total compute cost it took for OpenAI to achieve a major historic scientific milestone. Think about that. We're talking about world-changing research happening for less than the price of a beat-up used car.
All right, moving into Section 1, the $2,000 AI breakthrough, cracking 10 unsolved problems. Just days ago, OpenAI's secret weapon, the advanced reasoning model known as Astra, went way, way beyond just getting a little faster or slightly smarter. It successfully solved 10 distinct mathematical problems that had remained entirely undefeated for decades. And to be clear, these aren't just your standard logic puzzles. These are incredibly complex, deeply layered challenges that have literally haunted the world's brightest minds, and Astra just cracked them wide open.
Which brings us to Section 2, solving 27-year-old math problems, the impossible made possible.
Let's look at one specific example, the Non-Sofic group conjecture. Now, this is a foundational question in complex mathematics, specifically operator algebras and group theory. Essentially, it's the study of symmetries and abstract spaces. It has been an open problem since 1999. That means it stood completely unbeaten for 27 years. Just to put into perspective how difficult this is, human mathematicians have published thousands of pages of failed attempts trying to crack the single problem. It acted as an absolute, impenetrable wall.
And the contrast here is just staggering. For decades, the traditional approach relied on human PhD mathematicians. We're talking folks costing roughly $100,000 a year in salary and benefits, grinding away for 27 years. Astra, on the other hand, it finished the job in mere hours with a total cloud compute cost of just $2,000. The efficiency gap here isn't just big, it's absolutely astronomical.
So the crucial question is, how did Astra actually pull this off? Well, it relied on a three-step method. Step 1 was massive synthetic data generation. This means the model actually created its own training examples to learn from. Step 2 was lean 4 formal verification. And Step 3 involved self-correction loops. This is huge. When Astra's proof hit a wall, it didn't just throw its hands up and stop, it relentlessly backtracked, generated alternative lemmas, which, by the way, are basically just mathematical stepping stones, and reattacked the problem over and over until it finally broke through.
Actually, let's take a closer look at that second step for a second, lean 4 formal verification, because it's absolutely vital to why this is such a monumental breakthrough. This is a system where the AI writes mathematical proofs that are 100% computer verifiable. This means absolutely zero human error is possible. It completely removes any shadow of a doubt. The math is flawless and totally undeniable to the scientific community. And because of that flawless, verified execution, top mathematicians are reacting to Astra's output with just unprecedented praise. They are quite literally calling it Fields Medal level work. Now, for context, if you don't know, the Fields Medal is basically the Nobel Prize of mathematics. So for an AI to independently produce work worthy of that kind of honor, it's a total paradigm shift. Okay, moving to Section 3, the anatomy of virality, deconstructing a global news event.
The source material perfectly deconstructs this story's viral DNA, showing us exactly how these elements combine to trigger massive audience engagement. Think about it. You have a specific time frame, 27 years, which immediately creates high stakes. You have concrete numbers, like the 10 problems, generating clickable curiosity. Then there's that shocking, highly shareable contrast of only $2,000. You add in Musk's celebrity endorsement for massive reach, the controversial term singularity for engagement, and the emotional, relatable unhittable hook of top mathematicians literally shaking at the results, and you have the absolute perfect recipe to turn search volume into views.
And we can see this exponential interest translating directly into a clear hockey stick growth in daily views. On August 1st, the initial Astra Math announcement drops and gets 27 views. By August 2nd, the detailed information drops, pushing it up to 45 views. And then, bam, August 3rd hits an all-time high peak of 96 views. This right here is a textbook algorithm surge, driven entirely by a sudden, unexpected, and twist-filled event.
Looking at the broader timeline, we see what the source data calls the golden window. Publishing within 24 to 48 hours of an unexpected event outperforms delayed content by a massive factor, like 3 to 5 times. The timeline shows that by August 6th, the 72-hour window is closing fast. So to capture that exponential algorithm surge before it completely fades away, publishing inside this critical time frame is absolutely essential.
And finally, Section 4, the existential AI race, geopolitics, and the future.
The source data highlights a really stark industry narrative playing out right now. It presents a scenario where OpenAI is actively lapping the field, dropping an absolute scientific bomb with Project Astra, while competitors like Google fumble their Gemini 3.5 Pro release and Meta scrambles to keep up. Now, regardless of where you stand, this exact narrative is what's driving current search volumes and aggressively shaping the public's perception of the AI race.
But beyond the corporate rivalries, the view counts, or the highly heated debates about the singularity, the most critical takeaway for you to understand is this. The cost of high-level intelligence is rapidly collapsing. That is the true, fundamental shift happening just underneath the viral headlines. So we're going to end this explainer by leaving you to ponder one really incredible question. If $2,000 can solve a Fields Medal-level problem that stumped humanity's absolute best minds for 27 years, what happens when that exact same computation only costs $2? What does the future actually look like when world-changing scientific breakthroughs become almost completely free? It's a fascinating and maybe slightly terrifying thought. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this incredible data and keep learning.